thanks so much for joining me. So today I'm going to show you how to make some cute pieces of ephemera, really quick and really easy. First of all, we've got these little journaling cards or little inserts, and I've done a few different ones. And then we've got this lovely, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it, this lovely clipboard. It's a mini clipboard. It's actually functional. It does actually hold things. So I'm going to show you how to make that as well. So grab a brew, get comfy, and come and craft along with me. Okay, so let's start with the little clipboard. It's so cute. Now you do need to fussy cut. So what I've done is I've printed this sheet out on lightweight cardstock, and then I've glued it to another sheet of lightweight cardstock with a coffee dyed pattern. You can do what you want. Stick it to some cereal box or whatever you like. Just make sure it's attractive on the back, you know, in case anybody flips it over. And then you just need to cut it out. So bear with me while I just fussy cut this. Now the binder part, which is on the same printable, is just printed just on lightweight cardstock. Don't need to print on the back with that one, because you're not going to see the back of it. So let's just trim this. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Don't worry if your cutting's not perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round them corners with a corner rounder because I won't be able to cut that accurate. Okay, and I'm using a 1/4 inch corner rounder. Okay, and then I'm going to just grab some smaller scissors for this detailed bit. So I'm just going to cut that straight across because I'll be able to get my corner rounder in there as well. Okay, so it's quite an easy shape to fussy cut. It's nothing over complicated. Just stay as close as you can to the edge. Okay, move your image rather than your scissors, although sometimes I do kind of move the scissors as well. Okay, so what I do when I print my digitals out is I'll spend maybe half a day and I'll print them all out and I'll have a look, and then some of them I'll flip them over, I'll print the back with coffee dyed paper. Some I won't, because some I might want to back with book pages, etc. And you know, I have fun and I sit and I watch YouTube while I do it, and then they're all done, and then you've got a huge pile. Let me show you my pile. So these are what I've been cutting today. Okay, and then these as well. Okay, and this is not even half of the 2 kits, not even half of it. All right, there's so much in these 2 bundles that it's just plain ridiculous. You'll have loads. Right, so there, that's very easily done. And then I'm just going to get some vintage photo. Okay, I'm going to ink around the edge because you're gonna, where you've cut with white card, I don't know if you can see, but you'll see the white core of the card. You don't want that. You don't want to see that. And also it adds a little bit more vintage to it. If you don't have vintage photo, have a look in your collection and see if you've got a light brown ink. You know, just a normal pigment ink you can ink with. Just be careful you don't smudge it all over. You can use archival ink to ink with as well. Just that the distress inks, you're going to get a more muted kind of a look. Okay, so that's that bit done. Now you can further distress this white panel if you want. I'm happy with it. You can stamp on it, you could collage on it, you could do what you like. So now we're just going to fussy cut one of these. So I'm just going to detach one from there. Now what you could do before you cut it or after you've cut it is cover all of this with glossy accents or some kind of gloss of some description, and that would look really cool because it also adds a small amount of dimension. I love glossy accents, but I don't have the patience to wait for it to dry. To be honest. Let me just get that a little bit closer to the edge, and again just keep as close. It's really not a difficult shape to cut. Okay, just take your time and be patient and it will come. So these are the same size as the ones on the chipboard, so that you can, on the clipboard, sorry, chipboard, what am I about? So you can layer them up. Done them the same size. Don't forget you could also print this page, this digital to a page to get little mini clipboards. Two little baby ones. I've not printed them out to a page to see what they're like yet. So let me tell you what this measures. Let me just get rid of that. No, it'll be fine. So this little clipboard measures from the top of there. I always end up with the ruler the wrong way around. From the top of there, it's just under 5.5 by 3 and 5/8. So it will slip in a pocket. It'd be perfect in a journal. You could add it to the front cover. You could do what you want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ink this again to get rid of the white edges. Like I say, if you've got more patience than me, cover it with glossy accents. That would look amazing. Right, so now what you can either do is just glue the top, like, third of that, okay? Or you can just punch it and add an eyelet. So my first one, I did glue it, and then I decided to use an eyelet. So on this one, I'm going to just line it up like so. Make sure it's even-ish, okay? And then I'm going to add an eyelet. So let me see if I can punch this fairly straight. So the hole's there as a guideline for you, okay? And then I'm going to add an eyelet. Now hopefully when I've added the eyelet, that's going to give me enough tension without having to glue it. But we'll see. If I don't think it's got enough tension, I'll glue it as well. I'll just lift it up a little bit and glue it. Right, let's see if this eyelet's going to be naughty or not. Sometimes they don't squash nice. So that one's squashed nice. Now I'm using gold eyelets at the moment. The reason being that bronze tone eyelets for some reason on Amazon are a ridiculous price. Okay? And whenever I order something from AliExpress, it don't come. So right, so that's that bit done. Let me have a look at the tension on that now. I'm just going to use a bit of scrap. Right, so I actually want a bit more tension on that. So I'm just going to lift it up, and I am going to glue it as well. Okay, so the eyelet is merely decorational. So I'm just going to glue just on this section here so that the rest of that stays free. But then that is then a little tuck area. So then from the collection, if you haven't got my collection, you can still do this. You can just make that yourself. You could draw that shape, colour it in, cut it out, use your imagination. You don't have to have what I've got. So I've got a collection of things here from my printables that I've just cut out, and then all you need to do is start and add what you want to add and layer them up, and you're going to get yourself a really cute little bundle. Now this might need cutting. So this is one of the library cards. In fact, that's not printed on the back. Right, I've not I've not printed coffee dyed on the back. I'd prefer that to be, but what I'll do is I'll go back at a later date and I will add it to some coffee dyed paper right now. So that's a little bit long for me because I want to tuck it in a pocket. So my line, I want 1, 2, 3, third line up. So I'm just going to chop a bit off. Third line up. Okay, and I won't ink the back because I'll probably end up sticking that on some coffee dyed paper and then cutting it out again. So that's one little layer, and then let's have a look what we've got in this collection. This is like a little back of a cabinet card. In fact, I wonder if it'll fit on her. Ooh, it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on the back of this photo. So these are all my own. These are all my digitals. I love making them. I just have fun. And then I love creating with them because the possibilities are just endless, aren't there? Right. Let me just get that. And then I'm just going to then put it in my little mini trimmer. Don't think you can get these anymore. But you can get similar. Tim Holtz does little mini trimmers. I think Tonic Studios probably do one. A little mini guillotine. They're great for these little things. So if you can afford one, go and have a look on Amazon or wherever have you and get one. Right, just move that. I'd quite like that corner round. No, it's too small to round the corners. So what I'm going to do is, because it's too small to round the corners, I'm just going to rough it a little bit. Because I don't want it so perfect, because it's meant to be vintage. Okay, and we're doing fake vintage. Okay. So I'm just going to rough it up a bit. Okay, and I'm going to do it both sides. And then, you know, give it a bit of a crease maybe. You could even rip a corner off. I can't bear to rip it. No, I'm not going to rip it, but I'll crease it. Also, what I'll do is I'll crease it. Give it a bit of an ink so it looks old. Okay. You know, and you can handle them quite roughly, because if it gets a crease in it, it just makes it look all the better. Right, so that's going to go there. What else shall we have? Can we fit a postcard? That's a little bit large. I quite like the shipping label. Again, this needs backing on some... I haven't brought any coffee dyed paper to my table, so I'm just going to ink it and I'll do it after. But this has just been printed on just copier paper. Nothing special. Stick that there. Okay, if you feel like it's not got enough of a grip, which there's going to be plenty there, then just glue it a little bit lower down. Yeah, but that's going to hold these little items absolutely fine. Stick that under there. What else can we have? What else have I got on my desk? Oh dear. I've got these little labels. I've got some clocks. I don't think I want a clock in there. Do I? I might do. So I'm going to have my lady here. Okay. That little ticket there. We've got this little bit of a word. You can fit quite a lot in. And then it'll all slide in a pocket. And it's just an interesting kind of a tuck. I mean, if you've got really good imagination, you'll probably think of better things to do with it than me. Yeah. Should we have that there as well? Yeah, let's ink it. I love this little blue word. I think this is from Graphics Fairy, this one. Loads of people use it in the digitals. This is a Graphics Fairy image. And there you go. Do I like that? Because that's not on cardstock, it's not laying flat, so I tell you what we'll do. We'll stick it just like that. There we go. So there you've got yourself. Let's move this over a little bit to cover up some of the white. If you didn't like the white, you can always mask it and then ink it and ink around. So there's your little clipboard. So that'll go in a pocket, and that's holding those items fairly sturdy. I think that's really cute. Am I even in shot? Oh, I hope that went all out of shot. I just looked at the camera then and realised. So there we go. I think that's really cute. So, right, next on the agenda are these little cards. So, these are also part of my latest collection, and the little vintage Polaroids. Now, what I wanted to do, I like things backed on black card. I just think it looks really vintage and really cool. So, these little pictures measure just over 2.5. They're like 2.5 plus an extra 16th by 3 1/8. So if you want to mat this way, then you need to cut your card 5 3/8 by 3 1/4. And if you want to mat the other way, let me find your card that I've already done, which is portrait. I get portrait and landscape mixed up. If you want to go that way, then you want to mat it, you want to do it 6.5 by 2 11/16. Okay, and then the little pictures inside, I think that's right, yeah, cut to the same size, so just over 2.5 by just 3 1/8. And then I've inked it. This is just lightweight copier paper. Yep, I went all out of shot doing my chipboard. Now, I keep calling it a chipboard. Doing my clipboard, else I'll be annoyed. I mean, if you're really clever, you could put another eyelet there and put a little dangle on, but you don't want too much weight on it. I'm going to put that there, so I'm quite proud of that, that I created that entire thing myself on a computer. Okay. So we're layering that there. I really love black cardstock, and I love it from watching far too much of Kathy Orta's videos, and she uses black all the time, and it just looks lovely. It looks crisp, it looks clean, you don't have to ink it. It goes with anything. I just love it. So this is one of the little Polaroids. Okay, and I'll show you the full collection again in a minute. Okay, and then the other day, if you follow me on all of my social media, I shared that I was making little tiny words. Well, they're not words, they're numbers. So these are from the Tim Holtzfield Notes stamp set. Okay, and what I do is, if I print on the back of, say, like this image here, if I print on the back in a coffee dyed printable, and then I have to cut it out, you end up with scraps. And I save the scraps because I'm an absolute loon. So I'll save the scraps and I'll stamp on them. And then I just think they're really nice layered on black cardstock. But yeah, that's what I do. I'll save those straight off cuts. That are at least, they need to be at least 1/2 inch wide. Anything smaller than that, don't bother with. And make sure they're all cut in strips if they're straight. I don't keep raggedy bits. I haven't got time for keeping loads of scraps. Else you get overwhelmed and you end up with billions of them. So then, because I've already pre-made these, and like I say, make things in batches, it just saves you. It saves you time. And when you're making things in batches, you're focused on that one thing. It's better than jumping from one thing to another Make a batch of them. You're always can always use them on something else. Now, when I say batches, you know, I made these. I'm not going to sit all day and make 100 million of them because I might not use them all. And my time's better spent, you know, doing other stuff, cutting other bits of paper up. So that's that one. Now, I did show you at the beginning of this video, I will have showed you these two projects because that's how I tend to do it now. I showed you this one and I added the little strip with the eyelets. I love the idea, but my eyelets are too big. These are the, you know, the normal size, are they 4mm? So for this little mini card, really I needed the smaller ones, but I didn't have them. But if you have them, this is a lovely idea out of scraps. It's just scraps of card. Okay, and if you're not confident at centralising where your eyelets would go, get a ruler and a pencil or a white gel pen and make marks for you to go in with so you know where you're punching. Okay, it's really, and it makes a lovely, lovely accessory for anything. You can put them on your tags. Decorated this little card, they look cute to make closures with. It's a really lovely idea. Not my idea, I didn't make it up. So here is my full set of the little cards. So I've done 3 going that way and 3 going that way. And what I'll do with these, I mean, you could even slip one like that and then add a paper clip, or put them in pockets in your tuck spot, slide them you know, on your belly bands like that. The ones that go this way, if you've got a pocket, slide it on the pocket like so, you know, with the back in the pocket and this at the front. There's loads of ways of using just little bits of things like this, and I just think they're ace to make. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that these ideas are useful. I think these are cute. I made these in next to no time, just left over, and I hope I were in shot when I made this because I love it. Go and give it a try. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.